More fireworks in our nation's capital as the impeachment questioning continues. Another Democratic debate takes place with more finger-pointing among candidates. And the recent rain and snow reminds us the holidays are fast approaching. Kevin has your forecast. This is 17 News at Noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. It is day 5 of public impeachment hearings on Capitol Hill following a blockbuster day Wednesday. Today includes 2 more key witnesses. Happening right now in Washington, lawmakers are questioning American diplomat David Holmes and Fiona Hill, who was President Donald Trump's former top Russian advisor. You're looking live at that questioning happening right now, and we are streaming this live on our KGET Facebook page if you'd like to listen in, and we'll, of course, rejoin questioning live here on KGET after the news at noon. But right now, let's catch you up with what's been said so far this morning with NBC's Susan McGinnis.
Key testimony on what could be the final day of public hearings in the House impeachment inquiry. Diplomat David Holmes says he overheard a phone conversation between President Trump and his European Union ambassador, Gordon Sondland.
The president's voice was loud and recognizable.
Holmes says he heard the president ask whether Ukraine was willing to announce what he wanted, investigations involving Joe Biden and the 2016 election.
Ambassador Sondland replied that he's going to do it, adding that President Zelensky will do anything you ask him to do.
After the call, Holmes asked Sondland whether the president cared about Ukraine.
Ambassador Sondland stated that the president only cares about big stuff that benefits the president, like the Biden investigation.
Alongside Holmes, Fiona Hill, the former top Russia expert at the National Security Council, who opened with a stern warning to Republicans pushing a conspiracy theory about 2016 election meddling.
I refuse to be part of an effort to legitimize an alternate narrative that the Ukrainian government is a U.S. adversary and that Ukraine, not Russia, attacked us in 2016.
Hill also recounts a July White House meeting with Ukraine officials where Ambassador Sondland said he was working with the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, to pressure Ukraine to do the investigations in exchange for a White House meeting for President Zelensky. She said after the meeting, Sondland explained
that he had an agreement with Chief of Staff Mulvaney that in return for investigations, this meeting would get scheduled.
She also said that National Security Advisor John Bolton, who was in the meeting, abruptly ended it and told Hill he wanted no part of, quote, whatever drug deal Sondland and Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney are cooking up.
Hill also believes Russia is gearing up to interfere again in the 2020 election and that the U.S. is running out of time to stop it. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, NBC News.
Again, you can watch live on our KGET Facebook page right now as that hearing continues. And the impeachment hearings served as the backdrop for last night's 5th Democratic debate. 10 of the top candidates squared off in Atlanta and clashed over the president and a wide range of other issues. But Senator Bernie Sanders arguing Democrats' messaging must include more than attacks on the president. Sanders standing alongside frontrunners Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Pete Buttigieg, who's rising in recent polls. The former vice president delivering what sounded like a dig at the South Bend mayor's experience. The 10 candidates drawing distinctions on policy like health care, but mostly going after the president more than each other. The conversation on healing the local homelessness crisis continues with a pledge by the county to work alongside the city of Bakersfield. Earlier this month, city council members delayed a vote on a potential shelter site at 1900 East Brundage Lane, a 7.5-acre property currently owned by Calcott. During last night's meeting, County Supervisor David Couch offered to help the city any way it can.
I'm really here tonight to express the county's willingness to cooperate with the city of Bakersfield to address homelessness. I don't know that we've ever publicly stated that before. I think we've had lots of conversations among ourselves, but we've never actually stated that publicly.
The city council is set to discuss a possible shelter site again on January 22nd. Last Friday, the county broke ground on a new low-barrier shelter on O Street near Golden State Avenue. The plan is for the center to host up to 150 beds. Meanwhile, the city council also approved new incentives last night to draw in recruits for the Bakersfield Police Department. Among the incentives, a $3,000 bonus for each BPD trainee, but only if he or she completes the BPD Academy and up to 1 year in service. The bonuses would be paid for with Measure N money. Yesterday was a wild day in the weather department. Much calmer out there today, Kev.
Yeah, look at these guys. No rain in sight. In fact, all is plain as planned, and clearing the skies out is what we talked about earlier this morning. And now we are looking at mostly sunny conditions from our downtown cam. And let's take a look at the satellite radar, and there's nothing to show you now. A few high clouds, but that is about it. All the moisture is well off to the east of our area. 62 degrees on the temperature right now. We have a light wind out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. As we take a look at the temperatures today, we'll rise into the 60s and then slipping back in the lower 50s by midnight. And then for the Tehachapi area, it's a little chilly for you. You're at 48. You have a light south wind at 5 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, we'll be right near 50, but then chilly tonight. By midnight, we're back right near 33. We are tracking another storm that could bring some rain and possibly even some mountain snow right around Thanksgiving. I've got more details on that coming up in a few minutes, Maddie.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. A local celebrity in his own right is joining in on a famous motivational speaker's podcast. Zach Scout sitting down with Tony Robbins. Scout talks about how he founded Marley's Mutts Dog Rescue, his local nonprofit, which gives second chances to both humans and canines. In the episode, you'll hear the story of overcoming fear and embracing gratitude and how Scout's helping others do the same. That episode's now available everywhere you get your podcasts. Thanksgiving is 8 days away, but a local church hosted a turkey giveaway yesterday. This is the 13th year. Victory Outreach Church in Southwest Bakersfield has invited families in need to get a free bird and enjoy some fellowship. Some 300 turkeys were handed out to some very thankful people.
It's been exciting. You know, I'm new here, and it's I like the outcome of all the people. They're very nice and polite. Not being rude like they are back in Texas.
If you didn't make it to the event, you'll find a list of other turkey giveaways and free meals on our website, kget.com. Just click the hot link icon. And some great news to report this afternoon. The Bakersfield Homeless Center is happy to announce they have reached their goal for donations ahead of this Sunday's Thanksgiving feast. They put the call out for folks to drop off a turkey or ham or make a donation, and the community answered. We were told this morning they now have everything they need. But you can always make a monetary donation anytime at bakhc.org. Nearly 24 men and women are ready to become advocates for local foster kids. These are the new graduates of the CASA program. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. They're volunteers who speak on behalf of an abused or neglected child who's going through the court system. This is the 83rd graduating class of CASAs, and for the first time, some of the training was done online.
We use CASA University, which is our online platform, and so they will do their coursework online. They will come to class once a week, and they will do activities, meet with each other, and really put the skills that they've learned online into practice when they come in person.
20 new advocates graduated the program last night. Of those, 8 were men, which CASA says is a big milestone. The holiday shopping season's about to begin in earnest. Coming up, how to make sure that what goes under the tree is safe. And a look at the dusting of snow down in Southern California from our first winter storm. Kevin has a look at what we could see for the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. Welcome back. Take a look at this. The first snow of the season seen here in the pre-dawn light in Wrightwood, northeast of Los Angeles. They had 6 to 8 inches on the ground there this morning, giving snow-based businesses hope for a strong winter. And quite a bit of snow in our mountain communities like Pine Mountain Club. Kev said they got, nearly a foot in some areas?
Nearly a foot, and I'm going to show you a live picture from that area coming up in just a second here. But temperatures right now under the clearing sky starting to warm. 62 in Bakersfield, 64 in Delano, Buttonwillow at 63, and then we've got 40s and 50s into the mountains right now. Out in the desert, lower 50s to start off, and you can see here on the satellite and radar, we did see some clouds this morning, and then those really started to clear on out. Arvin, 64 degrees right now. Beautiful conditions out that way. Wasco, you're looking very nice, 62. And Pine Mountain Club, look at this, 43 degrees, lots of snow on the ground, and they picked up around 11 inches of snow yesterday. They've still got some clouds around the area right now. And then Golden Hills, we've cleared things out there, partly cloudy and currently 51 degrees. Here's a look at the regional satellite and radar, and you can see that low that we tracked yesterday that did bring the rain and the mountain snow is pushing to the east, and that's why we've been able to see some clearing skies around the state. Temperatures today, 57 in Sacramento, 66 in Fresno, 60s down to the south. Where we find that cooler air today is Las Vegas, a high of only 49 degrees. So this system exits to the east. We get some clearing here. We're looking at plenty of sunshine for the next several days. I see no change until next week, right around Thanksgiving. So I know it's that busy travel time, and we're going to have to pay attention to the forecast. Here's a look at our futurecast model. I'm going to put this into motion, and we're going to watch for another system to drop out of the Gulf of Alaska. I'll pause it here. This is Tuesday, 8 p.m., starts to approach out of the north. We bring it in as we head into Wednesday morning into the afternoon. The one thing that I want you to take note of here is this, and that brings our snow level down along the passes, including I-5 over the Grapevine Wednesday afternoon into our Thursday, and then by Friday, the system pushes east, and we start to see some clearing. So here's a look at the rain totals that we're expecting with this storm, and they're going to be right on track. If it all plays out right, where we were with this last storm. Just under a half an inch for Bakersfield and Delano, a half an inch up near Lake Isabella. Again, we're a little ways out, and these models always change, but this is the initial thought from our global forecast model. So let's spell it all out. So the rainmaker that we saw yesterday, well, that was the third latest start to the wet season that we've seen. Skies, again, are clearing out there. Beautiful start to the afternoon. The next storm is brewing out of the Gulf of Alaska, as I mentioned, coming in Wednesday, Thursday, bringing rain and snow. And right now, snow levels look to drop near 4,200 feet. That would be problematic for us over our passes, so we're going to have to watch it carefully, as mentioned. For today, though, clearing skies, we're already seeing that 60s for most locations of the valley. Just a light wind as we go throughout the day. And then for the mountains, we're also seeing clearing skies there. 46 in Pine Mountain Club today, 50 in Tehachapi, 50s for the Kern River Valley with Lake Isabel at 56, 54 in Kernville. Look for a southeast wind 5 to 10. And then for the desert, we're looking at mid to upper 50s. Here's your extended forecast, and we'll keep you in the 60s. Tomorrow morning, we may see some fog. We'll see if that develops. The weekend looking great. And then we have a 30% chance of those rain showers moving in by Wednesday of next week. And then for the mountains, sunny skies as we approach that weekend. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s. A little breezy on Monday, and the chance of rain and snow showers by Wednesday under breezy conditions. Highs only in the upper 40s. And then for the Kern River Valley, sunny skies throughout the weekend with those 60s back into the lower 50s, and a chance of rain and snow showers by next Wednesday. So that is definitely a busy travel time for folks.
Yes.
So we'll have to see what happens, and it'll be hour by hour, day by day here to see if anything really changes.
We know a lot of people go back and forth, especially between like Southern California and Northern California to stay with family. So yeah, that could be messy.
Yeah, especially over the Grapevine.
All right. Thanks, Kev.
Yep.
How's your saving going for retirement? For many people, the answer is not so well. I'll look at how Americans are saving next in your Business Watch.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
And we're back checking stocks. They're slipping for the third straight day here. Amazon leading the decline. The Dow is down 17 points so far in trading. The NASDAQ down 9. The S&P 500 just down about 1.5 points. Meantime, checking out oil prices. West Texas Intermediate selling for $58.26 a barrel. And Midway Sunset started the day at $60.86 a barrel. More than half of Americans say they're behind on their retirement savings. Bankrate.com released this study this morning that found only 16% of those surveyed said they're right on track. Nearly 40% said they'd never had a retirement account at all. Half of those with retirement accounts say they have made early withdrawals. The top reasons: unemployment, medical bills, and to pay down debt. Toys are surely on your child's Christmas list this year, but some could be more dangerous than others. Tony Dunham has what's safe and what you might want to avoid during your holiday shopping.
The holiday season is upon us, and you're likely going to be out shopping for toys for your kids, other family members, or loved ones and friends. There's a lot to consider when it comes to toys and safety for different ages.
I can't sit on that. That's too little.
Jamie Hilfiger and her 2-year-old Victoria are getting an early start on holiday shopping.
I'm always looking for non-toxic toys. My daughter's almost 2 and still, everything goes in the mouth.
Patrick Savoy, the owner of Toy Express, laid it all out for us. He says first and foremost, pay attention to small pieces.
Here are soft blocks good alternative to Lego blocks because Legos are very small pieces.
So this is basically because these are sewn on eyes, not like eyes that can pop off.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Bigger is better for babies and toddlers.
The wheels are small. The rubber can probably, come off as well.
Yeah. Age labels on toys are important too.
We recommend the parents to always look at the age appropriate.
Pay special attention to bath toys.
This is really a mildew or mold issue here as the water gets stuck in there.
So no hole.
Look at strangulation hazards like long strings.
So they're always a great alternative to pool toys, which has a cord and can create,
So a popper instead of a pool
Yes.
toy.
And finally, don't forget about batteries. Make sure the compartment for them has screws on it.
Another tip from the CPSC, make sure to keep building and play sets containing small objects away from small children. You'd be amazed at the things they'd find to put in their mouths. Still ahead here at noon, coming up, an E. coli outbreak affecting California, where else it's hitting, and the rush to figure out what it's stemming from. Welcome back in your Health Watch. The CDC says at least 17 people have been infected by E. coli in 8 states. California is one of them. 7 people have been hospitalized because of the infection. 2 of the hospitalized patients developed a type of kidney failure associated with E. coli. No deaths have been reported. The CDC is investigating products that may be connected to the outbreak. American workers are spending more of their income on health care. That's according to a new report from Commonwealth Fund. The researchers found that in 42 states last year, employee premium contributions and deductibles exceeded at least 10% of the average income. But in 2008, workers in 7 states paid that much. Contributions increased at an average rate of more than 4%, which outpaced the growth in the average household income. November's National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month. According to health experts in Tennessee, the state has the 4th highest Alzheimer's death rate in the United States. New research in Knoxville is working to combat that through computer game technology. Katie Inman reports.
There needs to be some major research in trying to find a cure.
Stephanie Helton knows the effects of Alzheimer's disease all too well. Her dad was diagnosed at the age of 57 with early onset frontal lobe dementia.
So from diagnosis to end, my dad lived about 4.5 years.
Now she's an advocate for research and finding a cure.
There just needs to be so much more done.
Alzheimer's Tennessee is helping fund brain research at the University of Tennessee College of Engineering.
Eventually, we think that it may have certainly application for people with a diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment or early stage Alzheimer's.
The tech is a virtual program that gives the brain a computer workout by letting patients simulate things like driving a car. Every movement on the screen is controlled by the mind, not a joystick.
Part of the medication and other things that people will do will also be, okay, can I train my brain differently?
Here's how it works. A headpiece measures and collects electrical signals from the brain to help improve memory and attention in people like dementia and Alzheimer's patients.
It may help them as well as helping researchers really understand the brain.
Stephanie believes it's research like this that will play a role in finding a cure for the disease that took her father.
And I always say that if you don't know somebody, statistically you will know somebody.
The clinical trials for the technology will begin next year. Alzheimer's Tennessee is getting ready to get the program in more dementia patients' hands in the future once it's fully developed. Well, pot legalization has always been really strange in this country. That could be changing now that a House committee approved a landmark bill that would legalize the drug at the federal level. Pot use is allowed in dozens of states, but it's technically always been illegal at the federal level. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reports on those possible changes.
It's the latest and potentially most important battle in the war over weed. The House Judiciary Committee approved a bill that would legalize marijuana at the federal level, removing it from the list of federally controlled substances. It would also give states incentives to clear the criminal records of people with low-level marijuana offenses and include a 5% tax on cannabis products sold nationwide.
Has the pot legalization experiment worked?
So far it has worked. Yes, it's worked in many ways. You've seen the growth of an industry with employment and with tax revenues.
The so-called green rush has cropped up quickly. 33 states have legalized medical marijuana, while 11 states and Washington, D.C. have voted to allow recreational pot. 6 others have it on the ballot next year. A sponsor of the Senate version of the bill, presidential candidate Senator Kamala Harris wrote on Twitter, "Not only do we need to legalize marijuana at the federal level, but we have to do it right and bring justice to communities of color." According to the ACLU, marijuana arrests account for more than half of all drug arrests in the U.S. A topic at last night's Democratic presidential debate.
Marijuana in our country is already legal for privileged people. And the war on drugs has been a war on black and brown people.
Former Vice President Joe Biden clarifying his position after saying days earlier there should be more debate about legalizing the drug.
Number one, I think we should decriminalize marijuana, period.
It's been a year since Massachusetts legalized recreational weed, and half a decade since Colorado became the first state to do so.
Welcome, welcome. You are number one.
Since then, there has been an explosion of cannabis cafes, weed and wine tours, pot conventions, and high-end gajapreneurs. But critics say the multi-billion-dollar industry is lighting up too quickly.
While legalization benefits the marijuana industry, many in public health are worried about the impact it's going to have on adolescents.
Still, advocates have high hopes and are calling this a crucial first step.
Gabe Gutierrez reporting. What are the chances this gets through Congress? At this point, not very high. It's likely it would be passed by the Democrat-controlled House, but Republicans have been very reluctant to change marijuana laws in the past. So the chance of this bill being taken up by the Senate is slim. When we return here on 17 News at noon, when he graduates college, he'll be the youngest ever to do so. We'll introduce you and tell you what he has planned next.
Welcome back. Finally at noon, a 9-year-old boy is said to become the world's youngest university graduate next month.
Amazing. Laurent Simmons is studying electrical engineering in the Netherlands. I didn't know what that was when I was 9. He has an IQ of 145 and is working on a project that combines biomedical and electrical engineering. He finished high school in about a year, and he's slated to complete his university studies in just 9 months.
He's maybe 3 times smarter than the smartest student we've ever met in our career.
After graduation with a degree in electrical engineering, Laurent plans to study medicine. When he's not studying, he loves his dog, Sammy, and playing video games. His parents say Laurent's grandparents actually raised him, and Laurent said he wants to research and create artificial organs one day. He's receiving offers for his post-grad studies from universities around the world.
Wow, 145 IQ. Yours is 143. I'm 144.
7, actually.
Oh, I had to make sure I was one up from you.
I don't even have a clue what average is. I just know that is way above it.
Congratulations to him.
Oh, yeah, seriously. We'll see you back tonight at 5.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.